Hi, Barbie.
Hey, Lady Drama.
The other day I was wondering, how many roles have you taken on during your video games career from 1996 to 2000?
Wow. That's such a specific question.
Oh, I know. I'm making a video about it.
Well, we never like to talk about those years. But, hey. To answer your question, I've been a fashion designer, a story maker, a hairstyler, a nail designer, an equestrian, a pet rescuer, a bride.
Whoa, Barbie! Those were only 4 years.
Lady Drama, listen to me. When a girl has multiple talents, she better flaunt them all.
Welcome to the second part of this deep dive in the universe of Barbie vintage video games from the 80s to the early 2000s. My name is Lady Drama and I'm very happy to see you again. In this video we're going to focus on the complicated history of Mattel Media, later named Mattel Interactive, which led the distribution of 19 Barbie's video games titles from 1996 to 2000. Yeah, Barbie wasn't kidding when she talked about all of those roles she took on. On one hand, expansion, marketing, aggressiveness, and business drama are the key element of these 4 years. On the other hand, this period really shows a new intention to take the concept of girls can do it all to a whole new level, thanks to the many virtual possibilities Barbie and her fans now had. As opposite to the previous years, the video game released in this period were published directly by Mattel through the subsidiary newly founded company called Mattel Media. In February 1996, Mattel Media president Doug Glenn, who previously worked as Chief Strategy Officer of Mattel Toys, spoke highly about the new Mattel venture and said,
"In the past, you took recognizable characters and put them into a game. We're doing the opposite. We are putting the computer into the toy world."
Glenn also expressed the desire to create a product that would appeal to girls as opposite to the most famous video games of the time, which seemed to be designed mainly for boys.
The basic design play of the mid-1970s has become the core of the industry. Girls prefer play in which there are no threats and no adversaries.
If we dig deeper into the reasons why Mattel decided to invest in the in-house publishing of a ton of Barbie video games, it's clear that the company's focus was leading a segment of a booming industry. The video game world was growing as technology kept developing. Home computers were becoming the status quo for more and more families, and children were interacting way more with these domestic calculators. And for this second generation of virtual Barbie, Mattel decided that there was space for more than changing clothes and go shopping.
Make a wedding dress or something for a firefighter. Let's design a party dress. I love my new outfit. She's wearing our design. Computers are cool for girls. Computers are cool for girls.
The firstborn of the family was Barbie Fashion Designer, which rightfully so was a big success. Barbie Fashion Designer managed to give the full experience of one of the core parts of the Barbie doll's playstyle. With the video game, players created their unique designs to view them modeled by Barbie on the runway. The software also included special paper-backed fabric, markers, and fabric paint so that the designs could be printed off and made into clothes for real-life Barbie dolls. In the first 2 months of release, Barbie Fashion Designer went on to sell over 500,000 copies, outselling other popular games at the time such as Quake and Doom. It was the country's 6th best-selling computer game of that year. The impact of the game in the legacy of Barbie definitely had the effect Mattel Media hoped for, taking the lead of girls' video games. Because of its impact in the industry, Barbie Fashion Designer was later inducted into the World Video Game Hall of Fame. In the following 2 years, Mattel Media went on to publishing 6 more titles, and by collaborating with several different developers, the company managed to create games that would cater to different interests, giving the fans a wider range of gameplay options. In Barbie Storymaker, players would be part of a movie production, taking care of the important steps from recording to editing. With Magic Fairy Tales Barbie as Rapunzel, they would take part in the fairy tale of Rapunzel and complete different activities to reach the ending of the story. Barbie Magic Hairstyler would simulate a beauty salon for Barbie and her friends in which the player could style their hair, makeup, and accessories. And Barbie Nail Designer did the same thing, but focusing on manicure and pedicure, or as they called it in the commercial,
Fingers and toes.
Barbie Nail Designer followed the path of the first title, Fashion Designer, by allowing players to print their creation and apply them on their nails. 1998 was the year of release of the 2 last titles for Mattel Media, Barbie Riding Club and Detective Barbie in the Mystery of the Carnival Caper. This game is the first title of a series of mystery-based stories that continued in the following years, becoming an iconic collection in the Barbie video games world. By the end of 1998, Mattel Media had moved on to a new name, becoming officially Mattel Interactive. Under the newly named company, 11 Barbie titles were published in the span of 2 years, even if those 2 years turned out to be very problematic for Mattel. In order to understand what was going on behind the scenes, let's go 1 year back in our timeline. John Amerman, who was recognized for having turned Mattel away from disappointing sales and mismanagement, retired as chairman of the board after 17 years. This retirement started the era of Jill Barat's leadership, who started working at Mattel as a product manager in 1981 and was named CEO and chairman of the board in 1997. Focused on keeping the momentum going, Jill Barat moved forward with the new Barbie innovations and aggressive expansions for the company. In 1997, Barbie brand CD-ROMs quadrupled sales to $20 million, and the Barbie universe was keeping the US sales revenue high. In July 1998, Mattel completed a $715 million purchase of Pleasant Company, the Wisconsin-based maker of the popular American Girl and the American Girl magazine. Mattel's acquisition of Pleasant Company brought together the world's 2 largest girls' toy brands, Barbie and American Girl, and proved highly successful. The company was also gaining a reputation as an excellent employer, named one of the 100 best companies to work for by Forbes magazine. With an in-house daycare center, health and fitness facility, half-days Fridays, and generous vacation days, which included shutting down operations the week between Christmas and New Year's, Mattel seemed to provide employees with almost as much fun as consumers. As we approach 1999, Mattel Interactive is to be considered a success in innovation, with the company continuing to show itself as revolutionary on the inside as much as on the outside. If we consider the role played by the ownership and publishing of the many video games titles, not only for Barbie but also for other IPs, it's no-brainer to understand why Mattel was interested in purchasing the Learning Company. Based in Cambridge, Massachusetts, the Learning Company was a major player in computer games and educational software, producing titles like Reader Rabbit and Carmen Sandiego. This acquisition was intended to broaden Mattel's product line and help Mattel sell more products that appeal to boys and chase the same success of the best-sellers Barbie video games. In May 1999, Mattel took over the Learning Company in a $3.5 billion deal. The Learning Company, however, began reporting unexpected losses before the deal was even completed. In October 1999, Mattel announced that its earnings would fall below expectations. For the year, Mattel reported a net loss of $82.4 million on sales, which reflected in a restructuring that involved some 3,000 job cuts, as well as a fourth quarter learning company loss of $183 million. The latter loss led to the abrupt resignation of Jill Barad.
There is nothing I can say to gloss over how devastating the learning company's results have been to Mattel's overall performance. Because there must be accountability, I and the board agree that I must resign today as chairman and chief executive and from the board.
Between 1999 and 2000, Mattel Interactive still managed to publish 10 more Barbie titles, including the second and third chapters to Barbie Detective, with the Vacation Mystery for Windows and the Mystery Cruise for PlayStation. The sales for Barbie Videogames, however, weren't enough to balance out the enormous loss caused by the learning company acquisition. Following Jill Barad's resignation, Robert Eckert was named chairman and CEO in May 2000. He had been the head of Philip Morris company, Kraft Foods unit. Soon after Rob Eckert's arrival, the learning company was sold to Gore's Technology Group for no cash and an unspecified share of future learning company earnings. Even if Mattel managed to sell the learning company, it still had to pay the consequences of the acquisition. Lawsuits were filed by shareholders in 1999 and 2000, alleging mismanagement and breach of fiduciary duty by company executives and the board of directors. In November 2002, Mattel agreed to pay $122 million to settle these actions. With the arrival of the new century and the ashes of the terrible learning company burnt deal, it was clear to Mattel that the time of prosperity for Mattel Interactive was over. The focus of the new CEO was now directed into expanding the product range of established IPs like Barbie, and this strategy would lead to the release of the movie Barbie and the Nutcracker. As the door was shut in the 90s with the hope of stabilizing the company's revenue, the video games universe moved from an in-house production to a licensing partnership. With a new generation of fans ready to explore the wonders of video games, it was time to reboot old concepts, create new stories, enhance the graphics, and ride the tail of the Barbie movie's success. In 2001, Vivendi Universal Games was ready to take care of Barbie. In the next and final chapter of this deep dive, we will explore the period between 2001 and 2005 and the Barbie titles published by Vivendi for several different platforms. If you made it this far, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to leave a like and join me at the Drama House. Don't miss the final episode of this mini deep dive.